I have a few things to get off my chest. Good morning, Olives. So this video, you might notice, is a bonus video of this week. This is not my regular upload day. I normally upload on Saturdays, every Saturday. So if you're new, subscribe and expect not another upload until Saturday and only Saturdays from here on out. But if you follow me on my social media, which if you don't, it's always on the end card at the end of my most recent videos. If you follow my social media, you may have seen that I did post about uploading a bonus video either this week or next, either within one of these 2 weeks, because I had a few things I had to get off my chest. It's not clickbait. I mean, that's just the bonus that it happens to be clickbait, but I really do have some serious things that I feel like need to be discussed. I've been using the platform of YouTube for years now, whether it be uploading myself or even before I started uploading myself when I used to just watch videos. I've been using it for years now. I made a video a while back titled Dealing with My Anxiety, and in that video I discussed my anxiety as a general condition that I deal with and live with every day, but I didn't go on to discuss the specifics or the things that trigger my anxiety. I feel like I haven't been able to be completely honest with all of you and been able to just outright tell you, here are the things I struggle with on a day-to-day basis. Past week was a rough one for me, and a lot of people actually don't know that, and they don't know why. So basically, I thought that today would be a good day for me to sit down and talk to a camera. Whether or not I have a very large following, I really hope that this video reaches the right people who need to hear it, and I just really hope I'm doing the right thing. Enough talking, let's just get right to the point. I hate to say this because it probably sounds bad, but I will say one of the biggest things that triggers my anxiety is my family and my closest family. A lot of it may have to do with them being the people that I care about the most and, always worrying about them, but that's not even it. My family causes a good amount of my anxiety because my family just tends to be very critical and in a harsh way. And I can't say it's all of my family. There are people in my family who maybe have never caused any kind of anxiety whatsoever. Maybe they've fixed anxiety that I've had in the past. And shout out to those people. I'm not going to take the time to list, but shout out to those people, because the rest of the people in this family happen to not be that way. I say my family in particular and my family first because this past week, like I said, it was a rough one, and it all had to do with my family. And honestly, that's really sad. The reason I decided to film and hopefully upload this video is that, was it last night, I think? I had a moment, and I had some anxiety, and I didn't have an attack last night, but I had multiple last week. But last night was kind of the bit of closure. I did get closure with everything between last night and another night. And last night was a closure, but it brought me back to what happened last week. And I realized that I was laughing at some of the things that were happening in front of other people and coming into my room and crying about it over stupid stuff. But it was that stupid stuff that brought me back to the not so stupid stuff of last week. And I realized I was building a barrier. I was providing a barrier between my family and I. And I had to have that barrier because I was afraid of my family. And I decided that that's not okay for me to be afraid of my family or afraid of what might happen with my family. It's normal for me to be afraid of what might happen if I'm actually getting in trouble. If I get in trouble with the cops, yeah, I better be afraid of what my parents are going to do. But it's not that kind of situation. I was just afraid of what might happen anytime. I'm afraid of any kind of explosion and any kind of blow up. I realized that that's why I was building that barrier. I was providing something that I thought hopefully my family wouldn't be able to get past to get to me. And then that barrier just happened to be me laughing when I was around people, but that was an act. Meanwhile, I went back to my bedroom and I cried about it after I just laughed about it, like it was a funny, positive, ha ha ha. When that's not at all what it was actually hurtful. And people are going to say, why don't you just talk to your family about this? Why don't you just tell your family how you're feeling? I'm sure someone in your family will be caring and help you. And all I have to say to that is, don't you think I've tried? Not only that, even if I haven't tried, who are you to tell me when you think it's a good situation for me to bring up to my family? If you don't know my family as well as I do, I know how my family is going to react to certain things, and I know if it's even safe to bring something up to my family or bring it up in a way that you're suggesting. Wow. That was a rant. This video is already 8 minutes long, and I still feel like I have so much more to say. I do have more to say. I have a lot more to say. We covered my family, and we covered the fact that I really don't know what else to do other than to just hide the fact that my life sucks, and I kind of just have to accept it. I'm at that age where, yeah, I'm a teenager. I got things going on in school and with friends, and I'm gonna have things going on with my family and at home, and as much as it shouldn't be so bad to get to the point where I feel like I have to build a wall, build a barrier in between us, that's just how it happened, that's just how it works. I can't do anything about that. I have to face that fact. So moving on from the subject of my family, sometimes my closest friends can cause anxiety for me or trigger my anxiety, and you gotta be thinking, okay, shouldn't your friends be the people who are helping you through it? Okay, you may understand why my family could possibly cause me anxiety. They're my family. But you're starting to realize that everyone close to me, everyone that I could possibly care about, are the people who trigger my anxiety the most. You may be realizing that, and you're right. My friends sometimes brag about things that I don't think should be bragged about, especially to a person who isn't fortunate enough to have whatever you're bragging about anywhere near have it, and they want to have it, and you know they want to have it. Don't brag about it, because you are bragging and you're rubbing it in their face, and once again they're going to create a barrier, and they're going to laugh it off, and they're going to smile it off, and they're going to congratulate you for whatever you have, and they're going to act like they're proud for you and proud of you right then and there. But at that moment, they're probably thinking about how they're going to go home and cry about the fact that they don't have what you have, and that they want it even more than you did. It's okay to tell people, it's okay to post it maybe to a vast group of people, but to tell one specific person, like, I got this, or I did this, or I have this, especially if you tell them over and over again, you can't deny the fact that you are, for sure, most definitely bragging. No one likes a braggart, and that triggers my anxiety. I want what you have, and I'm not getting it, and you're bragging in my face, and I feel like you're not being a very good friend by doing so. The third thing that triggers my anxiety is school staff in general. I was going to say teachers. I had written down teachers, but school staff in general. I talked in my one video, 15 pieces of advice for high schoolers or freshmen. Never trust a guidance counselor, and I realized that, that could have sounded really bad and really negative, and I say could have, but it definitely did, no doubt. I'm sorry, I don't really necessarily mean for you to full-heartedly take that advice right away, but I'm basically telling you, if you end up deciding that you never want to trust a guidance counselor, honey, I'm with you. And I hate to say that about my guidance counselor because it's not that she's not a good person. I just feel myself that she didn't handle a situation that I was in. She didn't handle it the right way. She didn't handle it to her full abilities. And I could talk to her about that instead of, I guess, technically talking crap about her online. I really don't want to, because I don't want to bring up the whole thing over again. It's over, but it's not happily over, and it was nasty before and after she handled it her way. School staff in general trigger my anxiety because school staff, it's really hard to believe they were ever a teenager themselves, and it's really hard to believe they ever had any hardship themselves. Teachers always seem happy, and they're either happy or power hungry, and if you're power hungry, you're happy that you have that power. So that's always how I look at teenagers. They're either happy to be able to rule you. When you're uncomfortable with the situation you're in a classroom, it doesn't matter, because that teacher suddenly was never a teen themselves and doesn't understand what it's like, and that teacher suddenly never had any hardship themselves and suddenly never got nervous speaking in front of a class, so nervous that they knew that as soon as they said the first word that went along with their book report, they'd faint. Maybe you don't relate, but do you really have to? All kids, all students, all people are different. Some learn and study differently and in different ways than others. For example, I can't do anything, I can't take in any kind of information in front of a group of people. Right? In a classroom while they're giving you notes is one thing, but for me to present a report of some kind in front of a whole class, I'm not going to get anything out of that. All I'm going to get out of that is like 3 or 4 nights of no sleep, because I'm nervous. And all I'm going to get out of that is an F when I refuse to do it, because I know I'm just going to faint in the classroom. And think about it. You might think, okay, so you go black for a few minutes. First things first, that's a major deal. And that's honestly a lot of paperwork for you as the teacher to handle. You just think it's not going to happen. Don't lie. Next, think about the student's mind. Put yourself in the student's shoes and realize, if I were a student who had loads of social anxiety and anxiety in general, and my teacher forced me to go up and present this project, and I fainted in front of all my peers. I'm not even going to say friends, I'm not even going to say classmates, but these are peers. I fainted in front of all of them. How am I going to feel in general afterwards? Yeah, everyone wakes me up, maybe I have a bit of a headache, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm speaking about how am I going to feel about myself? How confident am I going to be? How am I going to feel walking back into that same classroom full of those same students, those same peers that I fainted in front of the day before? What is my self-esteem going to feel like? Because it's not going to be good. I'm going to be very unhappy with myself, and as unhappy as I am with that teacher who made me do it, I'm just as unhappy with myself for not being able to get through that one project, that one day, without fainting. This video is already almost 20 minutes long. I think I've ranted enough to get my point across and make myself feel a little bit better about what I lied about or didn't tell you guys, but I hope you take something from what I said in this video. And I hope you, learned a little about me. I hope it maybe helped you make a decision for yourself. I hope it got to the right person who is now so thankful that I posted a video showing them that other people feel this way. And I hope maybe some school staff member gets a hold of this now that I ranted about them. Not necessarily someone from my school. Just in general, I hope someone gets a hold of this who can look at it and realize maybe they need to fix a mistake of their own. We all make mistakes, and it's never too late to fix it. But that said, this was your bonus video for the week. I hope you enjoyed. ? If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. My social media is all going to be on the end card as usual. And remember, this was a bonus video, so I won't normally be posting on whatever day I end up posting this. I normally upload every Saturday, so I will see you next week.